Hi everyone, welcome to our Facebook Live today. My name's Alyssa and I'm the Marketing Manager here at Katoomba, and today I'm super excited to have James Kavanagh, who's the Education Manager at Dyson with me. Hey James.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. How's everything going in ISO?
Oh, no, we're all right. So I'm in New Zealand, thank goodness. So very lucky over here. We actually keep saying how lucky we are, and we can just be out and about and kind of doing whatever we want. So yeah, we're super lucky, and yeah, our hearts go out, especially to Victoria. We're thinking of you, all you guys over there. So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, Sydney's not been too affected, but just keeping safe, working from home, doing more virtual meetings, which is exciting,
Yeah.
the new way of working.
Yeah, it's super interesting actually. Yeah, lots of people actually really like kind of the work-life balance that comes with being able to work from home and things like that. So our office is open, but we're allowing a lot of flexibility, which is working really well for us. So it's awesome. But yeah, everyone stay safe, especially in Victoria. We are thinking of you. Today I'm really excited to have James here from Dyson, because we're going to be talking all about how to choose the right tools for your salon. And what James is really going to talk about is, thinking about your salon environment, thinking about what's best for your team and what's best for your clients. How do you go about making sure that you're choosing the right tools? Because, it can be a big investment for your business. So, we'll go through all of that. I've got lots of questions for James. But as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please pop them in the comments below and I'll be sure to ask them as we go through the session. So James, I thought it'd be awesome if we could get started by getting you to tell us a little bit about your role at Dyson.
Sure. So I am the education manager for Dyson Beauty. I just look after the beauty portfolio, which is super exciting. I am a hairdresser. I trained a very long time ago now over in the UK. And it is great that Dyson have educators, but also hairdressers in the business to really understand going into the beauty category. So there's quite a few of us globally now. I do look after both the consumer side, so our retail teams, whether it be in David Jones or Maya or Sephora. But what I'm really passionate about is working with the professional side. So we work with global amazing ambassadors. We have a huge team locally in Australia and New Zealand. And I'm really lucky. I get to hang out with them, really kind of find out what they need in their salons, how we can grow as a business together. And how we can really deliver the best hair possible, really.
That's awesome. That's definitely the same here at Katoomba. We're lucky enough that quite a few of our staff were previously hairdressers as well. And so just having that real insight and that understanding, it's so true. It really helps us to understand what our software needs to do or how we need to support our customers. So it's really cool that they're hiring that, Dyson's super involved and has lots of hairdressers and things like that. That's really cool. So I guess, James, why is it so important that you choose tools that have an ergonomic design?
So I remember going back to the salon when I would do a busy Saturday and we would do blow dry after blow dry after blow dry, and you really have a workout. So I would quite often have to get massages or acupuncture, and I would finish that week, and my shoulders especially would feel really tight. So having like ergonomically designed tools in all of hairdressing really helps stop that like RSI or pain. It stops your staff members having time off from work, which no one likes to do. Unfortunately, you do hear it quite often in the industry. People have to leave purely down to like repetitive strain injury or carpal tunnel and things like that. So having ergonomically designed tools is really important, because our bodies go through so much in the hair industry. We're on our feet constantly. I mean, depending on where you are, then big blow dries that are super fashionable still. Like, you really need the tools to not only give you a great look or a great style, but also look after yourself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You are so right. Yeah, you hear so many stories, and yeah, it's super important. And so what should people be looking for in an ergonomic tool? Like, what are the kind of the key things to really look out for?
So I think it's all about how it's designed itself. most companies, not just Dyson Beauty, do have ergonomics in their kind of design of any tool or any machine. It's all about where it's weighted. We tend to like to have it weighted in our hand or close to our hands. It gives us a lot more control. So we're not going to hit our client's head. It's just going to make it really easy for you to create that perfect look in the salon.
Awesome. Cool. So really that weight, like making sure that the weight is kind of in the handle, like closer to your hand, is that like really that's the key?
Definitely. Because if it was weighted more in the end or the top, it's likely to go unbalanced or fall in different directions. So you're not going to get that preciseness that you need sometimes with blow drying or styling hair.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and then you were talking about your stylist there as well. So kind of what, I guess, real like features or pieces of functionality should people be looking out for when they're buying tools specifically for their staff so that they work really, really well?
Yeah, I think it's all about personal choice as well. Like I go back to scissors. When you purchase a pair of scissors, like you're paying quite a lot of money for them. So they have to feel good in your hands. And I think once you've found a tool that you really, really love, you'll be kind of an advocate for that brand for life, really. I know I like one brand of scissors, and when I need new scissors, I always go back to them. And like any tool, if you do change design or get a new product, it definitely feels different at first, and you do have to get used to it.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. And is there kind of anything else that they should be looking out for?
I think always take it for a test run. I know from my experience when I got Supersonic like 4 years ago, at first I was kind of like, this is so strange because I was one of them hairdressers that had that really bad habit of wrapping the hair around the nose. Obviously, Supersonic doesn't have the nose, so it did take me a while to get used to it. I had to retrain myself because I'd been using a conventional dryer for my whole career. So I definitely think playing around with a tool, having it in your hands, whether it be a hairdryer, a straightener, or a new pair of scissors, you really have to take it for a test run. And that's what's great about like Hair Expo and things like that. When we get back to having them events, you can actually pick them up and play around with them before purchasing.
Awesome. And the Supersonic, I believe you guys put a longer cord on that model for professionals, didn't you? Oh, sorry, did you hear me, James? You look like you've cut out a little bit. Oh, we're having some technical issues. Hopefully he comes back in just a minute. We've actually just had a comment. Rosemary said, I love how light and quiet the Supersonic is. That's definitely what I've heard. It's absolutely amazing in that regard. So, yeah, couldn't agree with you more, Rosemary. Can you hear me now, James? This is technology for you. Hi, James. Are you there now? Can you hear me, James? We'll let him reload and come back. If you guys have any comments at all about any Dyson products that you guys have, please leave us a comment and I will shout out so that Dyson can hear your feedback. We've definitely heard the most amazing feedback, particularly about Supersonic, because obviously it's been around for a wee while. I would love to hear any feedback that you guys have about the Corral. If you've managed to get your hands on that, I know that stock was selling super, super quickly with that particular product, which is really cool and exciting. It's definitely, a game changer. I always dreamt of having a cordless straightener that I could kind of, carry with me anywhere. And it's funny now to say that finally it's actually a reality, which is super cool. All right, I might just, he's definitely gone offline now. So we'll see if James can come back in. Hopefully he'll be with us soon. And then he can share more information about what kinds of tools and things like that you can obviously purchase for your team and make sure that it's kind of going to work best for them. Cool, I've got James back. James, you're back. Yay! Cool. All good. I was just saying to myself and whoever's watching, I was just saying, oh, technology, how funny. But I was also saying,
great.
Yeah, when it works, it's great. I was just saying that Rosemary actually, she's commented saying she loves how light and quiet the Supersonic is. And I was just saying that's kind of all the feedback that I've been hearing, and that I know that the launch of the Corral was very, very exciting. I was probably 15 or 16 years old and dreaming of a cordless straightener. I wished I could kind of, my hair doesn't look very good. The rain's ruined it, and I could kind of fix it. So, yeah, super exciting products that you guys have been bringing out. Before you cut off, though, we were talking about kind of specifically, what kind of features and functionality should you be looking out for when you're purchasing tools for your staff. And so you were talking about the fact that it's actually a really good idea to make sure that you're really giving them a go, because things can be quite different and you do need to get used to new tools. And then I said to you, I believe that the Supersonic Professional, you added a much longer cord to it so that it's a lot better for stylists.
Yeah, so we do have professional models of Supersonic and Corral, which are engineered for stylists for in-salon use. The machines themselves are exactly the same. Our engineers are really, really confident that a consumer product is as good as a professional product. So we definitely designed the cords much, much longer. So even though Corral is a cord-free machine, it can be used corded. So they're usually a meter longer than the consumer model. And we also have really focused with hairdressers with the Supersonic Pro. So we have a specific concentrated nozzle, which is actually designed for a professional to blow dry someone else's hair, rather than the consumer concentrator, which is actually designed for you to use on yourself.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. And I know also you guys have worked quite a bit on your filtration system as well, which, because obviously, me blow drying my hair at home versus all day in a salon. So what did you kind of do, I guess, in that realm?
So the professional filter is much more durable. You actually get 2 in the professional model.
Oh, wow.
And we are really, really trying to educate people that it is a completely different machine. So we need to maintain it differently. So I know when I was back in the salon, we kind of got into the habit at every evening when my apprentices were helping clean up and things like that, we'd actually remove the filter and with the filter cleaning brush remove that debris. I'm a hairdresser that uses lots of product, so quite often powders or texturizing sprays would build up, and once we got into that habit, it was perfect. And that's why we do supply all the professional ones with a spare filter as well.
That's awesome. And I like that idea of kind of just getting into that habit, like having that routine. It's kind of at the end of your day, just quickly, do that bit, and then you're good to go for the next day. So that's a really, really good tip. And also, I mean, kind of from what I've heard, the Supersonic is really, really fast at drying as well. So I guess efficiency in terms of, wanting to fit as many appointments into your day is probably a pretty big one for when you're choosing tools for your team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our engineers really wanted to deliver that fast drying technology. So whatever attachment you use, you will get that fast drying capability. And again, I go back to my own experiences. When I was in the salon, the quicker I could do a blow dry and get the next client in, my boss was always happier. So always works.
Love it. And obviously, there are things that you really want to make sure, that you're catering to your staff's needs, but ultimately your client is your number one priority. So when you're looking for tools, what kinds of things should you be on the lookout to make sure that you're taking the best care of your clients as possible?
I definitely think condition is the best. You could do an amazing haircut or an incredible color, but if someone's condition of hair isn't great, it's not going to look as good as it should do. So again, with hair health in mind, when I was in salon, I would always recommend treatments or bonders and things like that. But it does go back to tools as well. So compared to a conventional straightener, the Supersonic actually only gets to 100 degrees on its hottest temperature. You look at some of us on the market, they actually get above 200, which you're actually putting unnecessary heat on there. And again, my own personal experience is when I got the supersonic all them years ago, you kind of just have that mentality in your head to go up to highest velocity, high heat, and you don't necessarily always need it. And again, when people do start using the supersonic, they really notice that you don't actually need the highest heat because of the fast drying technology that will dry the hair off. So a beautiful blonde client, I would actually use the lowest heat, which is only 60 degrees. And quite often clients will comment and they say, oh, it doesn't feel hot at all. And that's the beauty of supersonic, really.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Is there anything else when it kind of comes to your clients' hair health or anything that kind of tools can help with?
Definitely. Like, I always recommend having a blow dry in a salon. I'm from that kind of generation where women love to go into a salon maybe once or twice a week for that blow dry, and it will last. However, not everyone has time for that these days. So having the right tools at home is super, super important. And I believe we as hairdressers or professionals, we really need to educate our clients or our guests in salon, like why you're using such a tool and why you're using a product, and really giving them that full experience. Because if you, the hairdresser, doesn't tell them that, they're just going to go online and find out for themselves, and they'd actually lose trust in you. So I believe it's a whole kind of journey going into the salon. I go to a salon and get my hair cut, and the hairdresser knows I'm a hairdresser, but she always would recommend a treatment or a scalp scrub. She always recommends a product, even if it's something that I have at home. She'll talk me through how she's applying it. And then when she dries my hair, she'll tell me what heat setting and what velocity. And I think that's the full journey. And by inviting me back on a certain amount of time, because everyone is so busy, if we kind of just go into a salon, sit on our phones and not listen, I don't think the hairdresser is going to be able to give us what exactly we want.
Yeah, no, the education side is really, really important because, you guys are the experts, and so you can really, really help a client with that as well. I know with Dyson products as well, it's you kind of have your cool shots and then your like obviously heated as well. Does that kind of help with hair health, or is that more about styling or?
More for setting the style, definitely. I mean, with the corral, we've obviously been creating lots of waves and movement and texture. And I believe hairdressers know this already, but they don't often tell their clients or their guests. But myself working in that consumer world, who maybe everyone isn't a professional hairdresser, it's something that actually shocks a lot of people that when you create a curl or movement, leave your hair to cool down before you start manipulating and brushing it out, or use a cool shot button, because it will set that style in place, definitely.
Cool, awesome. And you've already mentioned obviously a lot about kind of the different bits and pieces that Dyson have really taken into consideration when designing their products. How has Dyson, I guess, tested their products to make sure that they really are going to withstand that salon environment? Because like I said, I use my hairdryer at home, and I'm using it, once every couple of days, compared to, you're seeing clients all day. So I guess how does Dyson test to make sure that they're actually going to withstand that?
They actually put them through a lot of testing. So I'm very fortunate enough to have been to our main research and development facility in the UK, where our head office is. And every time we create a product, we put it through rigorous testing. So all of our professional models, so Supersonic Professional and Corral for stylists, they have got a more robust paintwork, first of all, so it is more durable for in-salon use. They are put through so many tests. They're dropped from 3 or 4 flights onto concrete floor. They're submerged in water. They're stood on. And we're really, really proud that our machines are durable, and they do last. They are made to last.
Yeah. I mean, that is so important because I couldn't imagine, how often things probably get dropped and used, and so they need to kind of be really, really durable. Cool. And did you have kind of any last parting comments or tips or anything like that for any business owners out there, or any stylists looking to purchase themselves any new tools?
I just kind of think with your tools of your trade, it really reflects on you as a hairdresser. I'm very proud that I'm a hairdresser, and I'm very proud of this industry. And I think by having the best tools and the best products in salons and the best software company really elevates you as a hairdresser. and makes you really stand out, because we know there's salons on every corner of the street. But having like premium products like Katoomba or Dyson or a product line, it really, really makes you kind of the top of the game. And I think consumers know that. They look at a brand affiliated with a hairdresser and they really buy into that as well.
Awesome. That's such a great tip. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, James. That's all the questions that I had for you today. I really, really appreciate your time. And I'd like to thank everyone that watched. I really, really hope that you guys got a few tips out of that that you can apply to your businesses. And I hope to see you at our next Facebook Live. See ya.
Thanks, guys. Stay safe, everyone.